And I've been finding debris that looks similar to this. I've been wondering what it is. Came over here. It's traffic lights just completely torn apart. With tax-free weekend being a week earlier this year, more people are able to benefit from it, including teachers. And that was a big complaint last year because it was a week before school started. So 7 more Christmases. But I tell you, if you have not gotten your Christmas tree for this Christmas season, I'd go ahead and get it. When I show you this house, you're going to be completely amazed. It truly was a miracle. Just to give you an idea of how strong this storm was, take a look at this foundation. That's where that home used to sit, where those 4 people were seeking shelter for this storm. Now, during that storm, it was so strong, it picked that whole house up and tossed it across the street here. All of that family had to be removed from this house underneath all of this rubble that you see. Crews are already here working on these baseball fields, but with the amount of people that they had at this event and the amount of rain that we got over the weekend, it is going to take a lot more work to fix this problem. Is to make sure the magazine is removed, make sure that chamber is completely clear. Now, if anyone ever skips any of these steps, that's when it often turns deadly. We actually have a special guest here at Fox 6. This is my dog, Charlie. Charlie, sit. Sit. Say hey to the camera. Shake. Good girl. And what people actually don't know is that the bottom of their feet is what regulates heat for them and keeps them warm. When they're searching in areas with rough terrain, you can tell that it really cuts that search and rescue time in half because of the viewpoint that they're able to get with this drone. Or you want to check the life on that battery as well as the levels on your antifreeze. Now, this only lasts for about 3 to 4 years, so if you haven't got it changed in that long, you want to get it changed. But also, really the biggest thing is checking the tire pressure on your tires. You can tell it's a little old, but it's about to see a new life. In fact, it's going to look a lot like this, which is right across the street. Here in Walker County, the ballot looks a little bit different. Up here you have the Senate race, but below here, citizens are asked to vote yes or no on whether they want a 1-cent sales tax increase. So right here we have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and HBO, which all you can stream from your TV. All of these are streamed through your internet when you watch them. With net neutrality, it's required for all of them to be streamed at the same speed. Without it, they can speed up one offered by the provider and then slow down their competitors. So what we know is that a man and a child have both been shot. The man has been shot in the leg, and the child under 10 years old was shot in the hand during this attempted robbery. Wow. That was the cab that was on the front of this truck. Right there. So this is literally right beside the Piggly Wiggly. There's the Piggly Wiggly right there. Kids, elderly, parents, you know, people just walking around getting groceries and whatnot, and this happened in broad daylight right here. I left my first breaking news scene I was at on Jefferson Avenue, where police tell us somebody shot into a car, but that's a completely separate scene. The scene I'm at now, there is no shooting involved as we know, but a officer was involved in a wreck with another vehicle. So I want to make sure I'm clear on that. I've been to 2 different scenes in the last 30 minutes. So those are 2 different scenes. No, here. All of the roads in Oxford, Anniston, and Jacksonville in this area are closed. So that's city roads, not highways or interstates. That is where this teenager tried to enter this home, and the person inside the home then shot the person trying to break in. There was a witness there as well. Police have both the shooter and the witness in the city jail right now waiting for questioning. The coroner's been out here, as well as several of the family members of the teenager that was shot. Very emotional scene here in Tarrant.
Today, Hannah Ward spoke to the mama who posted it.
And Hannah, has the mess been cleaned up is what we all want to know.
Well, for the most part it has. Robin Riddle says that they are going to find these little foam balls all over their house for years because it got everywhere. While it was an overwhelming mess for her, it sure was a winter wonderland for those boys.
The snow is in here.
The snow's in there? Yep, and that little beanbag caused quite the blizzard.
That morning, I was excited because I had some extra quiet time on my hands.
So she thought.
You never enjoy silence as a mom, ever.
She knew better.
I heard Cade, my oldest, say, "Mommy, we have snow."
Snow, snow, snow.
And I looked up there and I saw Cade with a head full of beanbag balls.
And then snow got on my head.
On your head?
And that's when I knew I was in big trouble.
She ventured upstairs to see the snow for herself.
And right when I got to about here is when I saw snow everywhere.
So what do you think?
As I was looking around, I freaked out and I realized these little things stick to everything. They stick to the walls. They were in between my kids' clothes. They were in the clothes of the kids. I had to fish one out of Ethan's nose. They were everywhere.
Guess who Big Brothers blamed it on?
Jacob opened that.
But get this.
Well, the truth is that Jacob did do it.
Look how guilty he looks.
Did you open the beanbag? Did you?
It all happened the night before.
He unzipped it, and Daddy told the big boys to pick up the little balls in the morning. He left the room.
And didn't zip it back.
Didn't zip it back.
He wanted the boys to be able to clean up the mess, but they had a different plan.
Because if I want the well to be all covered with snow.
And after that,
But the good choice is that we are going to pick it up. Okay?
just like they were supposed to do. So Mama Riddle wanted to get rid of those beanbags out of her house, so she donated them to us, and we're enjoying them here at Fox 6.
Over here in the news lounge, it's just so comfy, I gotta tell you. Okay, the question, and listen, we have all been there with kids, right? My boys have done something very similar before, and they all point the fingers at each other. He said they're gonna pick it up. Did they get it all cleaned up?
They actually didn't. The dad had to borrow a shop vac from neighbors, and even then it took about an hour and a half. So we'll send these home with you, and your boys can have a snow day.
No, please. But
If they go to that center, they are forced to sit in a steamy building. And today I found out that it could be weeks before that air conditioner is fixed.
Quilting, crocheting. We play bingo. They love to play bingo.
There are a lot of activities at the senior center.
A young lady that's been coming down there, and she's been teaching us how to use the computer.
But Miss Jackson has her favorite.
Hannah, you would not believe that this is the quilt that me and some of the ladies that we made down at the senior citizen building.
It's called their daily quilting party.
And this is all hand stitch, Hannah.
And they love it because for some of the senior citizens, it's the only time they have to get out and see people because they live alone. But with no air conditioning in that heat,
And she came out there one day, Hannah, and she was just wringing wet like she had been in a sauna.
it's dangerous. And with the air conditioning out at City Hall too, Brighton cannot afford to replace the AC in the senior building until August at the earliest.
We have had talks of moving them to possibly a local church that can facilitate all of the activities.
We really do need some help down there.
With the summer heat only getting worse, there's only so much more they can take.
When you get overcome by that heat, you can't take it. It's unbearable.
But they're determined to get it fixed.
Well, maybe we ought to write a letter to Oprah Winfrey and see if she could help us, you know.
Because she's not giving up on her quilting. Now, the fire department did take several fans over to the center, but Miss Jackson says that helps, but in this summer heat, it only does so much. They really need to either fix it or need to move somewhere else to keep those senior citizens safe.
over $10,000 after paying a contractor that never finished the job, and he says the work the contractor did created more problems than it ever fixed. Now John Drake can't get in touch with that man that he hired, so he reached out to us for some help.
Our Hannah Ward went to his home in Hueytown to see what we could do. Hannah?
Some of this damage left by the contractor is really threatening the health of Mr. Drake's and his family. He hired this person in August to start the work almost 10 months later, still not finished.
Right, and we can go around to the side and see where he left that part hanging.
Project after project
And that's the piece that he pulled out of my house.
left unfinished.
And now when it rains, it leaks, I think, around it. Because they all leak at each section. It's always a daily reminder of him. Oh my gosh.
Inside the home, mold growing all over the walls from when Drake says his contractor, Alex Gentry, worked on the roof. So he never showed back up?
No.
Creating a problem he promised to fix.
That's going to be a health issue.
Leaving him with serious issues that he can't fix himself because of his severe scoliosis.
I just physically can't do it. Or I'd be working right now. I'd be working in the mines. I think that may have been what made my back crooked. I don't know. But I've always worked hard.
Gentry asked Drake to pay up front so he could buy supplies and pay his workers.
$750 and then $1,000.
$1,000? But then kept asking for more money, $12,000 later, and nothing but problems to show for it.
It's just, I can't believe that he did that to me, you know, because we were so good to him. He might as well have just come in and robbed me, you know, at night.
When we called from a different number. Hey, is this Alex? He confirmed that he did not finish the work because he has not had time. No day, no time at all that you have been able to come back to this house and finish your job that he's paid you for?
No, I'm going to. I just haven't.
It's been months.
I know what happened. Well, hold on just a minute. Let me tell you about that.
And that's when he hung up on me.
Wish that this man could be stopped so he doesn't do this again to somebody else.
We checked with the Better Business Bureau, and Alex Gentry has an F rating for other unfinished jobs, and that's under a different business name. The funny thing is, during our investigation for this story, we found 3 completely different names for Gentry's companies. Tonight at 10, I'll tell you why the BBB says companies like this change their name so much and how you can protect yourself.
On your side tonight with an update to a story we first brought you last week.
Thanks to our story, a viewer is getting help with his leaky roof. Hannah Ward has been on this story. Hannah, this man, John Drake, paid $12,000 for work he said was never finished.
That's right. Drake had been trying and trying for months to get in touch with that contractor. And after our story ran, the contractor actually called him. But there's still work to be done.
At least the man came out and installed a hood.
That helped to stop some of the leaking.
But he said he was going to come today, and
he never showed.
I haven't even gotten a phone call, so.
But we did. Mike Whitcomb saw our story.
I heard about Mr. Drake there and the situation that he had with the contractor not finishing the work and the mold.
His contracting company wants to help.
Oh, is that awesome? Wow.
Mr. Drake was speechless.
It's an opportunity for show God's love and, you know, to people that have been, you know, taken advantage like this.
You know, it's mysterious the way the Lord works. I tell you, that is just, that's wonderful.
Crews checked the house for leaks and mold right when they got there.
We see mold in here. We're going to go ahead and remove the ceiling in here where we got the mold and go ahead and clean all this off.
Oh, and did I mention they are doing all of this for free?
My goodness, no more health concerns. Because I have my granddaughters running around. No more worry, period.
This news to John Drake is a godsend.
And really, the way Mike talks about the way God works, it's just fantastic. With me actually going to church for the first time in years and years, and then for me to have this fixed and have no worry anymore, it's fantastic. It's just, there's no words. There's actually no words for it.
Someone will be out this week to get rid of all the mold growing in John Drake's house. Bree?
All right, thanks, Hannah. With